Welcome. This is the final video vlog. I'm reporting from the Parador, an extremely nice hotel in Santiago. We looked at prices, and the cheapest we could find was $220 a night for one person. That's euros, mind you. So you're looking like $350, $360. Fun. Too bad it was booked, or else Mr. and Mrs. Comstock would have a nice expense on their books. So we usually get up at 7 in the morning. Trey cracks his whip. Not really. But we get up at 7 in the morning, and the people that are going to hike get up and they start hiking, just like a regular pilgrim, except they have video camera stuff in their bag instead of anything else. So we spend 2 or 3 days hiking before we decide to jump forward to try to meet new and different pilgrims. Because if we stay with the same group, we would really meet very many people. Not very many people to interview in a certain group. So we jump from day to day to find different people. So we might start in a mountain region of the Camino, and then the next day, after 3 days there, on the third day, after we're done hiking, we'll jump to a very flat area, or we'll jump to the other mountain area of the Camino.
How was it walking as a pilgrim for your 4 days as pilgrim?
Well, it was good. It was lonely. I met not very many people that spoke English. Didn't meet very many people that were my age until the last day. Most of the people I met were 55, 60. And it's not very common for people that are older to speak English, where as the younger generation, you'll find a lot more. It might be very broken English, but they can speak English. So it was a good chance to really reflect on this trip. Really good chance to spend time with God.
Unfortunately, we have had absolutely no luck getting any interviews here. Very frustratingly, the only person we've been able to get to talk to us has been one Irishman who we randomly accosted thinking that he was way too old, and magically he was 23 and very friendly. So other than God blessing us with many, many Irishmen, Santiago has been an absolute failure at interviews, and basically has sucked. Usually our interview tactic with most things would be, we're on the road, we're talking to people, you know, since there's not much between you and the horizon and an ex-pilgrim, we would find somebody who was young, catch up with them, and then just start up a conversation, which is fairly easy to do on the route. But when you're here, it's a very swing and miss type operation. We basically randomly accost somebody at a cafe table or in the middle of the plaza with something like, hey, do you speak English? Or did you arrive today? And obviously we had very little success here in Santiago doing it, but it worked in Fromista and it also worked in Leon. So it worked in other places, other cities, but I guess in Santiago the pilgrims have arrived and they just no longer feel like talking to us or something like that. It's nice knowing the streets, sort of knowing your way around, especially down around the old city. The only place you really need to know is that one right behind me, and you just kind of navigate everything around the spires, finding your way from the cathedral square. It's nice. It's always nice to see all the pilgrims, so it feels like home.
Well, this is kind of what my bed usually looks like on any given night that we're on the trail. We kind of do uploading and pre-editing from the road. So we've got my laptop here. This is the binder we use to collect everyone's waivers, so that I can use that to properly name the file. Camera bag here so that I can upload from what is the good camera. Okay, and then from there it's edited using Final Cut Express on the laptop, sent down to this toaster looking object, which is in fact a Drobo digital storage robot, aka a fancy external hard drive. so that it all stays there rather than sitting on my laptop hard drive. This also does automatic backup, so it's kind of a useful tool. But also we've got guidebooks and notebooks and headphones, and it really just turns into a disaster area of gear and stuff. We have the internet connectivity that we use to blog and post. So yeah, this is kind of my disaster area. If you want to get a pan of the room, give kind of an idea of, this is a not totally atypical living quarters for us.
My space. Kind of neat and organized.
Elena also patches her laptop up to the Drobo to do translations while we're out here, so that when we get back to Williamsburg, life won't be totally impossible for all of us.
This is Brian sleeping. Grunt Brian.
Grunt on cue.
Bad Brian.
But yeah, this is kind of the nuts and bolts of the operation. Turns into a mess of wires and gear that then gets packed up every morning, and we ship out to our next locale. We're actually driving a total of 12 hours and 14 hours in the next 2 days, so it should be pretty exciting. Brian's running the bulls, so we all hope that goes well. It's been a good trip, and we've been really successful. We'll probably end with just short of 30 interviews, or just short of 40 interviews rather, which is way better results than I ever could have imagined. The team's been great. We really appreciate everyone's support, everyone's comments, everyone who's read the blog. It's nice to feel that we have a community behind us and people that care back home about what we're doing and sharing what we're doing. So to everyone out there, thank you so much for helping us through this experience. And hopefully these last 2 days will be successful.